Hey everybody, it's Matt with the DPI podcast. How you doing tonight? It is the 1st of March. Welcome to the third month of the year. Hopefully, it's better than the first two. If you had bad first 2 months. But from there, welcome to the show. If you're new, we are Disney Planning Insights. We are a content creation company that specializes in Disney stuff, and we work with a travel agency that specializes in Disney travel. So if you have any questions about Disney World, land, cruise, anything like that, let us know. Tonight is our weekly news show where we kind of recap the highlights of news from the past week. We talk about any of the big controversies that came over the last week, which we've got a good one this week. And we just generally talk about Disney and kind of what's going on. Tonight we've got Peter from Princesses and the Mouse Disney Travel. Definitely check out the site if you are looking to book at PATM Disney Travel over on Facebook. And then you'll see the website, the patmdisneytravel.wixsite.com website. Kind of scroll under my screen here. If you're looking to get information about a trip, you can definitely do it through there. So we do have, like I said, we do have some big news. We've got a new look at Guardians of the Galaxy. Disney released some footage on that today. We're going to talk a little bit about the Galactic Star Cruiser and kind of, not necessarily the feedback and the reviews that came out last week, but the people that were the ones curating those reviews. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. And then just whatever else decides to come up. We've got quite a bit, so definitely want to check that out. So without further ado, let me bring over Peter from Princess of the Mouse Disney Travel, and we can start talking about some of the news. And of course it's all the way over here now. Bang. Hey Peter, how you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing well.
So,
Sitting here thinking about Disney.
You're actually jumping down there for a couple of days just to kind of get out of Dodge for a little while. So,
Yeah, literally 2 days.
so let's talk about a couple of things. So I guess the big news this week is today is the actual first day for the Galactic Star Cruiser. This was the first day that you could actually book, but last week we had two sets of groups go through, and then there was kind of an open media day for press between those two groups. So let's talk about kind of what went on last week, and I'll kind of talk about a little bit of the fallout that came because of the groups that were invited. So the two groups that were invited, the first were a group of Disney influencers. So they are your big Disney channels, they are your large Disney Twitter accounts. Those types of people were the first ones that got invited. Then they had this press day, and then they had the Make-A-Wish Galactic Star Cruiser, and where they brought in a bunch of Make-A-Wish kids and did one of the voyages with that group. So you've done a lot of research on the Galactic Star Cruiser. Kind of give us a background on what the Galactic Star Cruiser is.
Okay. Are you sure you're ready for it?
Let's go for it.
Okay. So Galactic Star Cruiser is the newest hotel at Walt Disney World, and the entire premise of it is basically a Disney cruise. However, you never actually go anywhere officially. So you check in, and during that first day, you just kind of like check in. There's some onboard things. There's sort of like an opening ceremony. The captain talks about, welcome to the cruise. This is going to be such an amazing, relaxing, non-eventful time. Go check out your rooms. Come back. We're going to do this big event in a couple of hours. You go, you check into your rooms. I'm sure we'll talk more about that, and we have in the past as well. And then you come back out to this event, and in the middle of that event, boom, the first order immediately there. Oh, what do you know? The thing that was nothing was supposed to go wrong immediately goes wrong. I can't believe it. Right. So ultimately, you start making decisions kind of right away on what path you want to go down. Are you going to be loyal to the Resistance? Are you going to cave to the First Order? Or are you just going to sort of be a Han Solo and just sort of like Honda Anaka your way through the experience and just sort of like do your own thing, essentially? On the second day, there is a trip down to Black Spire Outpost, but where anybody can go to the Black Spire Outpost, or Galaxy's Edge as it's referred to. This is special. You come in from a special way. You don't really leave Black Spire Outpost. You are supposed to go and do different tasks depending on sort of the trajectory that you've chosen for yourself. By then, you have a various number of things that you are supposed to do and explore and take care of while you're in Batuu. And, you know, of course, it does involve riding both of the Star Wars rides. And then you head back to the ship. And then once you're back on the ship, again, more things, more activities, more different things to do. You have this like data pad the entire time that's sort of like itineraries out you're supposed to do. Head to bed that second night, and then the very next morning you're going to grab some breakfast, and they're basically going to tell you to get out. But they're going to say get out by time to get back on your landing ship. Kind of similar to the Space 220 experience or the beginning of Rise of the Resistance. You have sort of that. You check in, you park your car, and then you zip up to space where the Halcyon is waiting for you, the big luxury hotel. Is that adequate enough?
Yeah, I think that's adequate enough. So basically,
I tried to do Galactic Star Cruiser in under 2 minutes.
There you go. So yeah, that's the basic premise. So you're on this in this hotel, and you really can't leave other than your missions on Black Spire Outpost. So
have a medical emergency, I dare you.
Yeah, you got to take the shuttle down. Right. It's one of those drop pods like in Rise of the Resistance.
There you go.
So
your heart attack wasn't going well enough.
So the first group was invited on Wednesday. So Wednesday night, Thursday night. They left on Friday.
Right. That's when we were there, obviously. As one of the biggest.
No. Unfortunately. Well, I'm not even going to say unfortunately not. I don't even know if I want to be associated with a lot of the people that were part of that. And the reason I say that is there was just a lot of back and forth on Twitter with this group about how could their reviews be impartial having a $6,000 vacation paid for them. And I think there's some merit to it. I think there's some people that actually did good reviews on it, and it wasn't just the people that said this was terrible, it sucked. I think there were a lot of good reviews on kind of the storyline and how you get sucked into the story and that kind of stuff. But there were also some people that you could just tell that it was like, oh, Disney, yay! I'm going to make some more money on people that like Disney like me, yay! And that was all their review was.
When you say Disney invited influencers, you already are guaranteeing that those individuals are not. That's like the entire purpose of being an influencer, right? Like, I get things and then I use my following, my throng of people to try and like push the product that you've just given me for free.
Exactly. It's self-promotion without coming out and saying it's self-promotion.
Well, I mean, it's really smart, especially a lot of the backlash. I hadn't really heard much about it until all of a sudden it was here. So it was kind of being worked on, I don't know if it was worked on last minute or if it has been being worked on for a very long time and just everybody was really hush about it. But really there was very little information about it until all of a sudden they were all there and they were all posting their live videos and they were all writing their reviews and they were,
Well, and that's the thing. They didn't even
earlier.
They didn't even let them do that because they put an embargo out until Friday, until they got off.
That's what I mean. But yeah, like, so all of a sudden Friday, Saturday, Sunday, there was just like swarming social media with like all this footage, all these reviews, yeah. And I get it, because all you got to do is have somebody sign a non-disclosure, and then if they breach the non-disclosure, they're liable for suit. But still, like, the fact that there was such little information at all about that it was happening.
Yeah, and then I think some of the backlash the other way was people were getting mad at the people that were criticizing the influencers because, oh, you just didn't get the trip and you're jealous. And it's like,
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so let me rant. Leave me alone.
Yeah, and your point, I guess. But no, it is what it is. But then they had the Make-A-Wish group come on over the weekend. Had the day off yesterday, and then today was the first day for paid guests. Mostly, I would imagine. Maiden voyage. Let's air quote maiden voyage. To do this, and I would imagine over the next couple of days we're going to start seeing some more information, some more reviews, and I think you're going to start seeing the leveraging out of those reviews as more people ride or experience this attraction that's guised as a hotel. So you were going to go on this and ultimately decided not to. Is it still something that you're wanting to do? Someday,
yeah. And, I had the booking. Heck, I spent 5 hours getting that booking. We talked about that. But so first of all, my booking was going to conflict with work, and I wasn't going to be able to get the time. So I was going to have to do some, I was going to have to call in. Right, versus like having the time requested off. So right off the bat, I kind of doomed myself because I should have made it for a different date and I didn't. If I would have made it for a different date, I don't know, I probably still would have canceled. The more that I kind of looked at things and the more that I looked into it, I mean, what can I do with, $6,000? Oh, right? Like, what am I'm going to take my son for a 2-day trip for $6,000, or take my entire family for a week to Caribbean beach. We could go for 9 or 10 days. Yacht club, we could go for 6 days if I have that kind of money. I apparently could go to Paris for 5 days, including airfare, for that much money.
Not including airfare. But
$6,000? Come on, you can.
Speaking about Paris, they just announced right before we went on tonight that they are dropping their mask mandate. And that is right on the toes of the 30th anniversary of DLP coming up next week. So, pretty big news there that they are not going to have a mask mandate in place with the 30th anniversary starting up. So that's pretty cool for people that are going to be visiting Disneyland Paris. And the travel restrictions are lessening in and out of France. I think you still have to have a test to get in and out of France right now, but it's going to go away, I think it's sometime this month. So they'll continue to loosen up those restrictions and kind of, I hate saying get back to normal, but I feel like I've been saying it for 6-8 months now, but things are kind of getting back to normal. Speaking of getting back to normal, Festival of Fantasy Parade Showtimes were released this week. And what's your favorite question at the parks, Peter?
What time is the 3 o'clock parade?
Well, it's at 12 o'clock and 3 o'clock, so...
here.
So it's gonna start out March 9th through March 12th, 11:30 and 2:30, And then beginning on March 13th, it will be at 12 and 3. So 2 showings of the Festival of Fantasy Parade. And we'll see how it compares to parades in the past. If you remember kind of our look at the Christmas parades at World and Land, they were missing considerable pieces. And a lot of the walking characters and, Gingerbread Man and the toy soldiers, those were cut dramatically. So I'm interested to see kind of what the parades look like. You look like you want to say something.
Maybe a little. Let's see. So I actually just had a conversation about this with a client the other day, because we were talking, I think we were specifically talking about Bippity Boppity. They're like, why is Bippity Boppity not back? They go, what's the difference between getting a haircut here or, getting a style done here versus anywhere else in the world? I said, and this goes along with the parade, and it goes along with the dining plan, and it goes along with everything you get. Because right now, like when you go into a restaurant, they are not anywhere near full. Still.
Yeah.
Still you go in and the restaurant's like 50, 60% full, but yet there's no reservations, right? And the walk-up list is full. And Disney is still not operating at 100% cast. Like I would still, on the low end, I would say they're operating on 50% cast. And on the high end, I'd say they're operating on 70% cast. Because think about the college program and the international workers and how many people completely left the area when it shut down and did not take the opt-in to be rehired back when they offered it. So how many people are Disney just like, my God, we need workers? And, how many people when the park shut down went, well, forget it, I'll move back to wherever I'm from and all of that stuff. You look like you're feverishly typing away on a comment or something. So, with the parade, all of that's understandable because now if we take out all those characters, we can run a parade with 20 to 30 less cast members? Right. So now I can put those 20 to 30 cast members in Pecco's Bill and Running Splash Mountain and, whatever else. It's still like when I am able to walk around World Showcase and not see any of those stupid flag shirts, that is when I will know that Disney is back to full cast. So until then, I want it back too, but I just gotta keep reminding myself, Disney is not back at full cast count.
And I think this goes into the conversation I had last week, and I wish you would have been on last week. I was going to give you a chance to respond earlier about how Disney is kind of sticking it to the return guests more than the new guests.
I am going to absolutely agree with that, though. So I don't know if I would have been much help for you last week.
Yeah, because I was on kind of a little cliff last week.
I don't know if I could have stopped you though. I feel like I would have been like, hey, it's the fire department. I brought a kerosene truck. I can't disagree with any of the points you made because I was actually having this conversation today that every CEO in Disney's history has had that moment where they choose a decision that's clearly just about the finances and just about getting more into the black. But then they had a lot of awesome ideas that changed the company, shaped the company, made more magic. There is zero magic decisions being made by Disney leadership right now. Every single Disney decision is 100% about the green. There is zero decisions being made about the magic. I just we're DVC members, pass holders, travel agent, everything. I'm still going to talk to new clients about how amazing it is down there. But at the same point, the conversations that I'm having with people have absolutely changed because now instead of, yeah, so at 6 months out, we're going to book your dining. So, like, what do we want to do for dining? Yeah, we can get you this dining plan. So it turns it into an all inclusive resort. At 60 days out, I'm going to book you free fast passes. What? We don't have to pay for that service? No, Disney gives you 3 a day to make sure that, like, you can at least enjoy part of your vacation and then build the rest of it around. We're going to have this big itinerary. And now it's like, hey, at 60 days out, we're going to book dining. You got to pay completely out of pocket. Character meal costs $60. A regular meal is going to cost $20 to $30. I can tell you where the good quick service restaurants are, but hey, Disney's not all inclusive. Budget $2 to $3 grand in order to keep your family alive for a week. And that's not including souvenirs.
Yeah.
You know, oh, you want fast passes? Heck yeah, let's do that. It's $60 a day for your family. You can add it day by day because it's a complete waste of time at Animal Kingdom, but it's absolutely beneficial at Magic Kingdom. But if you do it, then you're hoping that it's available on the morning of, and you got to wake your ass up at 6 to 7 a.m. on your vacation. Like, I can't disagree. Like, long are the days where I could just like I have my dining reservation at 1. It's all comped and paid for because I paid in advance. So all I'm worrying about is the couple $100 of room charges from souvenirs that occur over the course of a vacation, and versus being able to let my family sleep in because we decided that we want to take our time getting to the park today. So we're going to take our time because we have a 1 o'clock dining, and I made my fast passes for noon, 2, and 3. Gone, completely gone. If I want to have a great vacation, then I better be expecting to be up at 6:30 in the morning so that I can be showered and ready to go. So at 7 a.m. I can make my first fast pass reservation. Then I can get my kids up. We can jump on the transportation in an hour and a half before the park opens. Because dear God, we better get on the other big stuff that we weren't able to get passes to without paying $15 per freaking person.
And that comes on the heels of Disney having its busiest month last month. And, you know, if you looked at some of the wait times last week, you were consistently seeing the big rides at 2 hours.
Yep.
Plus.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's, I mean, at one point. What was that?
Like, people are paying it. I think right now Disney is just absolutely raking in the desperate nature of people to take a vacation after the last hardest 2 years of our lifetime.
And I don't disagree with you one bit. I don't.
Like, Disney's just sitting there going, oh, they desperately need a vacation. Rake!
All right, let's move on to some happier news. We're in the transition phase from Festival of the Arts to Flower and Garden.
I am going next week.
Yep. So Disney is releasing 5 new collections of merchandise for Flower and Garden this year.
Yeah, figment buckets are back too, and you have to sign up to, like, you have to mobile order them, which I will be doing.
So you're gonna have the Orange Bird collection, the Mickey Mouse Home Garden collection, the Spike the Bee collection, Figment's Garden collection, and Mickey and Minnie Mouse collection. So 5 new collections of merchandise. You can see them all over at Disney Parks blog, and some samplings of what's going to be involved. It seems like there's going to be more that they're not showing, but it's going to be available through the Flower and Garden, which is running super long.
Late June.
Yeah.
Like, basically until Food and Wine starts a week later.
Yeah, so very,
yeah, like,
very
how crazy is that? So I'm going next week. Literally just me to go down so that we can do a live show with me standing in Epcot.
Yep.
So that's exciting.
Yeah, definitely tune in next week.
Yep. And then I'm going for spring break. And then Jesse and I aren't going until our anniversary, which is in the summer. And I'm going to go to Flower and Garden 3 times. This sounds crazy.
So, Flower and Garden, I want to say thank you to a few people. Becky, Terry, thank you for liking over on Facebook. Really appreciate it. If you are watching on Facebook, YouTube, over on Twitch, hit that like button. Follow us over on Twitch. We are starting to grow the channel over there. Well over 100 views on the content that we've put up there. Pales in comparison to the 21,000 something views, 21.2 thousand views we have on YouTube right now. But it's something new and something that we're going to be growing. So definitely, if you're over on Twitch and you catch us, hit that follow button and the bell so you can know when we're going live. We usually go live on Tuesday nights, and then we're going to start going live anytime that there's big news that comes out. I would imagine that the next big news is probably either going to be the initial announcement of when Guardians of the Galaxy is going to open. We had a soft announcement that it's possibly going to open Memorial Day. Memorial Day weekend. But then today they release a video that they're going through the paces right now on running these trains through. So basically the video that Disney released was in the loading dock, in the loading station, and they were dropping all the lap bars and getting trains going through. So, it might be sooner than we think. Mike, thanks for the like over on Facebook. It might be sooner than we think. How long did they do this at Ratatouille before they started soft opening to guests?
So obviously they're running the trains right now because they are training the cast members who are going to be running the ride.
Yeah.
Right? That's the likely scenario. And on top of that, like the ride developers and designers and stuff are like watching all the ins and outs. Yes, everything's firing on all cylinders and all good and all of that stuff. But boy, wouldn't that be something if after all of this, if in like 2 weeks they go, you know what? We wanted to get this ready for you guys, because on that news, we have some other news, right? Like Space Mountain just dropped the pay to ride.
Yeah.
Mickey and Minnie Runaway Railway just dropped the pay to ride. They're both going to be included in Disney Plus now, or in Genie Plus now. They dropped the individual Lightning Lane.
Yep.
Like, are we? Here would be the big tell. If Frozen drops its pay to ride,
it does.
Boy, you what?
It does. February 25th.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, I think that's the big tell, because Frozen's dropped its pay to ride.
Yeah.
Like, I still wonder if Guardians of the Galaxy is going to come online as a virtual queue right away, because then they can, they can paste the guests in.
I think that's more what you're going to see. I don't think you're going to see it come in as an actual Lightning Lane or Lightning Lane Plus right off the bat. I think it's going to be completely virtual queue for at least the first month. That way they're not having people put money into it to have to send it back to them when the ride breaks down, or they don't get through the number of people that they thought they would.
So all of that in mind, I think Memorial Day is the aim for when it will be available on individual purchase.
So given that timeline, I would say
virtual queue hopefully comes online like end of March.
Yeah, well, and that's what I was just thinking is you give it about a month as a virtual queue before it goes to Lightning Lane Plus, and then you give it about 3 weeks for pass holders, DVC, all that front end, like the soft training with people that you sign up for. We're looking 7 weeks out. That's early April now that we're looking at that possibly coming online.
And that would be great. I'm in all the know on that, being DVC and pass holder and stuff, and we haven't, like, there hasn't been any word about that. So no, that's not why I'm going down next week.
But going back to what you were talking about, Frozen Ever After, Space Mountain, and Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway will move to Genie Plus and away from the individual Lightning Lane. That started on the 25th of February. It's going to go through August 7th right now. So they do have an end date on it, but like you said, Frozen Ever After won't go back if Guardians is up.
No, and Tron's going to take the Space Mountain should never have been on there in the first place. Like, if anything, at Hollywood Studios, the second thing I would have up is Slinky Dog Dash over Mickey and Minnie. I was shocked that they did Mickey and Minnie in the first place. And same thing, like Everest is down right now, so it's a moot point. But I don't expect Everest to be back when it reopens. on the pay to ride. Now, if here's what I would love to see Disney do: make Genie Plus $15 a day, but then pick 3 rides at each park that you can have a maximum of 1 return time to. And then the rest of the rides, it's just first come, first serve, ride it as many times as you want based on open windows being available. Right? Then you sort of have like a blend of the old, a blend of the new, because like in the old, we had to pick one of the Epcot attractions, like we couldn't have them all.
But yeah, but also with that being said, you could also get 2 of those Epcot attractions if you played it right. You could do, if you could get like a 9 o'clock test track, there was a chance that you could get like a 7:45 Frozen Ever After.
Right. Yeah, or Soarin' especially. There were days in Epcot where we rode Soarin' on Fast Pass, 3 times. Because we got to the park super early, went straight for Frozen and rode it, had our Fast Pass for test track, and then by noon we were through our Fast Passes, so I'm booking like a 3 o'clock Soarin'.
Yeah.
But longer, those days are gone.
Let's go back to the Galactic Star Cruiser for a minute, and in my unadulterated hate of scalpers and what's happened with these exclusive lightsaber hilts that were offered to these influencers that magically showed up on eBay for $1,500 last week.
No, I bought one. It'll be here tomorrow.
Well, then we'll do a show tomorrow, and you can light it up for the first time.
I was joking. There's no way in hell I would spend.
I know.
I say that I would never spend $1,500, but I'm pretty sure I have like $800 in droids and lightsabers in this house. Halfway
also,
there.
Galactic Star Cruiser is sold out for the first 4 months. So if you were planning on riding it anytime before August, I'm sorry, it's not going to happen.
It could.
Could.
There's new stuff opening all the time. If you check the website right away at 7 a.m., that's a good time to check it. And then it does release inventory as the day goes on. So if somebody canceled right now, the inventory would be available in a minute from now.
Something cool over on the Disneyland side on the West Coast. Over at the Avengers Campus, they officially dedicated Avengers Campus to Stan Lee. Today would have been his 100th birthday, or the day they dedicated it would have been his 100th birthday, I believe.
That one.
That's the one.
That's a different color.
And they put a nice plaque out front, and really cool. Stan Lee drew a lot of the comics that Marvel movies are based off of, so good for Disney on that. He was a critical piece of that, and most of the movies have some cameo of him in them, so
like the best thing is like, it's like finding Where's Waldo. Oh, look, Stanley.
What's the Stink Rogers, or Tony Stank instead of Tony Stark when he's the delivery guy, when he's the FedEx guy? Tony Stank. Probably the best one of his. Disney Wish last month for their Year of Wishes contest. So find their Twitter post or Instagram post, and you can enter the Year of Wishes contest. It's open through the 31st of March. And basically, it is, what is your Disney Cruise Line wish, is the question this month. You have to answer the question and hashtag Year of Wishes, hashtag sweepstakes, and make sure that you tag Disney Cruise Line in the post as well, and have to be following Disney Cruise Line. My Disney Cruise Line wish is that we actually get to take our first cruise this time. So,
dude, it's happening.
I'm hoping. I'm positive. Mike?
No, don't say the word positive. Don't say the word positive.
Positive vibes. We're on the right path. Interesting tidbit from 10 years ago today. I guess it would be 10 years ago today because there isn't a 29th of February. 10 years ago today, Magic Kingdom celebrated a leap year by having another Disney Day and remained open for 24 straight hours on February 29th. The wait time to see Mickey at Town Square's Theater was 70 minutes at 2 a.m. If you're complaining about the wait times now, you're soft.
You're soft.
Anything
I
else
tell
going
you
on?
what, kids these days, they don't even know what a line for Mickey Mouse is.
I know. We had to walk uphill both ways to see the castle.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't tell you about my dream the other night. I had a dream that I was in an unbreakable loop inside the castle hub. If I tried to walk out it towards Adventureland, I'd come right back in on the Tomorrowland side. I couldn't get out of the castle hub. Freaked me out.
There's worse places to be stuck.
I know. Phantasmic has water.
Oh yeah, it does. They filled the moat.
And they tested the screen today. No, they didn't.
I think, you know what, that's probably the more likely thing than getting Guardians of the Galaxy up by spring break. The more likely thing is that Phantasmic pops back in here real soon.
Yeah, it seems like it's all complete. But they're doing the rehearsals, and we've got news on land when it's coming back at land. It's coming back Memorial Day weekend on land, but we don't have any news for World. No news for World. Anything else that you've got your eyes on that you're seeing?
Not anything of significant importance. No. It was just all pretty uneventful.
Becky asking, do they still do 24-hour Disney days? I haven't seen one in a while.
A long time. It's been a long while.
Yeah, I mean, it might have been 10 years ago today. It was the last one. No, it's been a long time since a 24-hour day at Disney. That's an interesting 24-hour Disney days. Let's see.
It's so funny. That's what I'm searching right now too. 2015 was what I found. Yeah, it last took place in 2015.
There you go. 2015. So
24-hour Disney Day has been gone since 2015.
All right. So no 24-hour Disney days since 2015. But hey, at least there was an answer. That's the nice thing about being live. Thanks for the question, Becky.
Found it.
Well, I guess since we don't have anything else, Peter, thanks for jumping on.
Oh yeah, great time.
Where can people find you?
Facebook. You can find me, Princess and the Mouse Disney Travel, over on Facebook. I have a Twitter at PATM Disney Travel. Yep, that sounds right. Yeah, Facebook's the best way though. If you want to get in touch with me, just find me on there. I still think, like, if you go to Disney and you type in Disney Travel Agent, I'm like one of the top hits, which is
there you go.
Super awesome. And send me a messenger and we'll talk back and forth a little bit, and then we'll get a meeting scheduled. And the next thing you know, all the magic of Disney can be yours.
All right, sounds good.
That's the thing. We bicker and we whine about the price and the cash grab, but I'm going next week I'm gonna buy I'm gonna go broke on these stinking collections of Flower and Garden, and I'm gonna go again next month. And Matt's going in like 2 weeks, so it's like we sit here and whine about it, and then we're like, just take our money, but we're just upset because you're taking it differently, and it upsets us.
Yeah, I guess that's legitimate, but still doesn't make me feel any better.
Being at Disney though does.
Hey, next week we will talk to you live from the Flower and Garden Festival at Epcot.
That, assuming everything goes off the way we're planning, yes, that is true.
All right, sounds good. Well, we'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye everybody.
All right, that was Peter with Princesses and the Mouse Disney Travel. Again, you can get in touch with him over on Facebook at PATM Disney Travel and start the conversation about having a trip. Remember, when you're booking a trip through Disney, only $200 to reserve your room and park tickets and start making those park reservations and start making dining reservations once you're inside that 60-day window. That's all you need to do. So, again, thanks to Peter for coming on. On my side, not a whole lot else. Just want to thank you guys all for joining us tonight over on YouTube, the Disney Planning Insights podcast. You know, if you haven't found us over there, go over there and check out some of the things we've got. We're working on some new camera equipment. So if you want, go over there and tell me how bad I suck at color grading. Go for it. 2 views of the Christmas parade are up right now. One that was posted shortly after the Christmas parade in November. One that I just posted last week. Check those out. Let me know if you like the difference in the color grading. If you don't, whatever. I'm going to still do what I'm doing, I guess. No, always trying to get better. Always trying to give you guys awesome content from Disney. Over on Twitch, thank you guys for watching. Definitely hit that follow button. If you like it a lot, subscribe. We're going to be doing a lot over there as far as maybe some more live content. I don't know about in parks, but more live content. And really try and develop that a little bit. I don't know exactly how it's going to go and how it fits into kind of how we do things, but we're going to try and make Twitch work. On Facebook, at DPI Podcast. On Twitter, at Disney Insights. Again, thank you guys all for watching. Let's go into the closing. Hey, we did have a guest. Peter from Princesses and the Mouse Disney Travel came on today, and we talked Disney stuff, especially the Galactic Star Cruiser, which had its maiden voyage today. Hey, if you're new, follow some of our social media accounts over on Facebook at DPI Podcast, on Twitter at Disney Insights. The Twitch is Matt_DPI, and YouTube, the Disney Planning Insights Podcast. Go over there, check it out, follow, like, do all those things. It helps us out, helps get our Hey guys, thanks very much for staying on this long. Have a good week, and we will talk to you next week live from the Epcot